What's up YouTube, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you Itto's burst combo rotations at C0. And in order to squeeze out as much damage as possible, you gotta do the right combo, because if you're just flailing around and swinging that club, you could be leaving a lot of free damage on the table. Anyway, if you're new around here, I have a Twitch and a Discord. Links are down below. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. First, I wanted to revisit the old combos that I predicted before Arataki Itto came out, and I was close, but not exact. I said that we would start off our combo with a normal attack combo in order to gain stacks, and then do our continuous charge slashes, and I predicted that we would do about 5 into a final charge slash, and then that we would be able to do that twice. So 2 full normal combos, and then 10 charge slashes, and 2 final charge slashes. Well, it turns out that Arataki Itto's combos really aren't that simple at all, because there's just a ton of variants that can happen. But I was kind of close. An average combo is probably going to look like that, but that's what today's video is for. We're going to know exactly what kind of combo we need to do. Now, if you already understand Arataki Itto's stack mechanics, then you can feel free to skip this section. There are timestamps down below. But we are going to be going over some of the mechanics for the people that don't know. So first off, he can only hold up to a maximum of 5 stacks at any one time, and they are going to last for a very long time, 60 seconds. You can also gain stacks while you're off the field, and switching off of Arataki Itto will not remove your stacks. Without burst, only his second and fourth normal attacks are going to give you stacks, where the fourth actually gives you 2 stacks. While in your burst, every normal attack will give you stacks, and this is very important to know. And there's a very clear indicator that tells you how many stacks you have, depicted by the Oni mask that floats behind your character. And it also even tells you how many you have, depending on how many lights are shining. There's also a very visible indicator that shows up once you hit your 5th stack. And next up, we have Ushi Mechanics. First off, he will give you a stack if you hit an enemy. No damage is required, so this is going to go through shields. Ushi will also give you a stack if he gets hit, and this ability is on a 2-second cooldown. He can give Itto 2 stacks instantly if you summon Ushi into an enemy's attack. A full potential Ushi can give you a maximum of 5 stacks, 1 for hitting the enemy, 3 if he gets hit within a 2-second gap in between each one, and the last one by leaving the field. These are all very important mechanics to know and remember in order to maximize Arataki Itto's burst combo damage. And now burst mechanics. The actual uptime on Arataki Itto's elemental burst is actually really long. On paper, it has an 11-second duration and an 18-second cooldown. So this would make you think that there are 7 seconds of downtime. However, once you take into account burst animation and hit lag, it actually ends up being only 3 seconds of cooldown. That's when Arataki Itto's elemental burst ends. Itto's burst is also going to snapshot his defense at the time of casting. However, for some really odd reason, Goro's 25% defense passive does not snapshot into Itto's elemental burst. So when that buff goes away, a little bit of your attack is going to decrease. However, Arataki Itto's elemental burst does not snapshot damage bonuses, so you can gain those after your elemental burst is activated, and your damage will still increase. Alright, so now we're going to jump into Arataki Itto's combos. And remember that these are C0 Itto combos, because if you have C1, then your combo structure is going to change quite a bit, because he gets stacks instantly, and he also regenerates stacks upon casting his burst. So C1 Arataki Itto users, sorry, but these combos are probably not going to be working for you in every situation. The number 1 rule you want to avoid when doing combos with Arataki Itto is running out of your burst while doing your charge slashes. It's a huge damage loss because we don't end the combo with the final charged slash. The scaling on the final charge slash is enormous, so we definitely want to have as many of them as we can in a single combo. However, this doesn't mean that you should spam your final charge attacks, because if you just get 1 stack and then use your final charge attack, you can't get that many, and it ends up being really weak. The attack speed that you get from doing the consecutive slashes beforehand make a huge difference in increasing your damage potential. So even though I said we want to have as many final slashes as possible, it's different from just spamming it. Next is that dash canceling is important, but also not very important, because it is required for some combos and it's not required for others. But since you don't always want to remember which combos require a dash cancel, if you just dash cancel properly, then you don't have to remember which ones that actually require it. Most of these combos also only require one dash cancel in the combo to make full use of the combos, so you don't need to dash cancel every single thing with Itto. Also, make sure that you are dash canceling the proper attack, and this means only dash canceling the final charged attack. Do not cancel the 4th hit of your normal attack because Arataki Itto has a seamless transition from his normal attacks into his charge attacks. He does this really quick little teleport, so just remember not to dash cancel your normal moves, only the final slash. Dash canceling is also important because hit lag makes a big difference. Some of these combos that I'm going to be showing you against the Cryo Regisvine will not work against a Ruin Guard unless you dash cancel. I'll show you guys a really quick example here. So this combo would have worked if we dash canceled. Next is that Ushi is our strongest scaling attack. And since we do generate particles while in our burst, unlike Xiao's E skill, this means that we really want to use Ushi in our combos. Getting 2 Ushis in one rotation is going to be ideal, but sometimes we just can't do that. This is also under the assumption that your E skill is properly leveled up so that it is among the same level as your normal attack talent. So anyway, we're going to be going through a lot of combos here, and this was a lot of work to test out to figure out which one was the best. So, do me a favor, hit that like button, and maybe even consider subscribing to my channel because we got a lot more content on the way. So I like to break Arataki Itto's combo structure into 2 different paths: 0 stack combos and full stack combos. Each one is going to have a certain starter and a certain ender. However, Arataki Itto is not always going to have either 0 stacks or full stacks. The number of stacks coming into your burst can vary greatly. Sometimes you can have 1, 2, 3, or 4, and so we're not going to be going through every single possibility. We're only going to be sticking to 0 stack combos and full stack combos. But if you have 1 or 2 stacks, then stick to 0 stack combo starters, and if you have 3 or 4, then go with full stack combo starters. First off, you need to understand the notation, so we're going to go over it really quickly. 1N stands for your first normal attack, 2N stands for your second normal attack, 3N for your third, 4N for your fourth, 1C means 1 charge attack, 4C means 4 charge attacks. And for Itto specifically, when I say 3C, 1C, or 4C, 1C, the 1C at the end is to show that that is a final charge slash. So let's go ahead and start with 0 stack combos. All of these combos are going to start with a 4N normal combo with an E skill thrown in the middle. By throwing your Ushi out after a certain attack, it opens up a little bit of time and a little bit of extra damage opportunity. The first set of stars is going to be a 1N into Ushi, and then you finish it off with your normal attacks into your continuous charged slashes. The 3 enders will start with 4N, 3N, or 2N, and depending on the ender that you choose, you can either squeeze out a little bit more damage or choose to have more stacks after the rotation is over. The next starter is 2N into Ushi, into the final 2 normal attacks, and then you finish off the combo with your continuous charge slashes. Your enders here are similar, 4N, 3N, and 2N. However, by putting Ushi after the 2N, we actually are able to extend our combo with our 3N ender route. We can fit a single 1N or 1C at the end, which results in more damage. Our third starter is a 3N full combo. Again, enders here are the same, and I hope you are beginning to catch on to a little pattern and combo structure here. Our 3N route results in the same ender as our 2N and ends up dealing the same amount of damage. Our 2N ender route is slightly different here. We can end with 3N into Ushi. This is not more damage, however. It's slightly weaker than the 3N route, but it's not by much. The combo is also really tight, so you have to be perfect. So probably not a combo you want to aim for, but if you miss input, then it's the combo that you should go for. The final starter is to do 4N into Ushi into a full combo. And we only have one ender here because we don't have enough time to do a proper combo with the other routes. This ends up being our weakest route. So out of our 0 stack combos, doing a 4N ender is going to have the weakest damage output. Doing a 3N ender is generally the best combo route you can take and leaves you with about 2 to 3 stacks afterwards. 2N enders usually leave you with full stacks afterwards, but are a little bit weaker than your 3N enders. And so doing a 2N or 3N starter and a 2N and 3N ender is your best bet. However, 4N combos are the easiest to execute and perform. Now let's go ahead and move on to full stack combos, and we have 2 starters here. You start with Ushi, or you start with your continuous charged slashes. Ushi starters will be the strongest because we can fit 2 of them in a single rotation. Starting with your charged slashes doesn't lead into efficient routes where we're able to get 2 Ushis in the combo. However, we still do get a weak Ushi at the end to maximize our energy. So the damage output by starting your rotation with your charged slashes is going to be weaker. The starters for your full stack combos are also a little bit more complicated than the 0 stack combos, but I'll try my best to make it as clear as possible. So starting with our Ushi starter, after throwing out Ushi at the beginning of the rotation, we go straight into our continuous charged slashes. After that, your route is either to do 3N or 4N. 2N doesn't have any efficient routes. So starting with 3N. Here we're able to do 3 continuous slashes into a final charge slash. Ushi is going to disappear during our slashes, which in turn actually give us 4 stacks. Then we can end with either 2N into another Ushi into a 2C, 1C ender. The other ender you can do is just do a full normal combo into Ushi. So you can choose how you want to end this. You can do 1N Ushi, 3N, 2N Ushi, 2N, or 3N Ushi, 1N. Really, the choice is up to you here. The next route is after your continuous slashes, you do a 4N. Unfortunately, Ushi disappearing here doesn't make a difference and we don't get any extra slashes. The ender here is to use Ushi into a 3N normal attack combo, or Ushi into a final charged slash. Pretty simple here. Your 4N routes are definitely going to be weaker than your 3N routes, so definitely aim for the 3N route. The next starter is to just start with your continuous slashes, and this one has a lot of different routes we can go with. And the combo structure here is that you're going to start with your continuous slashes, and after that's done, you're going to throw out your Ushi. This route will not allow us to get 2 Ushis, so its damage output is pretty low. I'll just go ahead and let the combos play out here and the enders play out here, as I don't think you should be going for this route because there's a lot of variation, and as I just mentioned, the damage output is quite low since we don't get to use Ushi twice. So these are some of the most efficient and most powerful combo routes you can do during Arataki Itto's Elemental Burst. However, a lot of these combos are under the assumption that Ushi is not being actively attacked. This is just another variable that gets thrown into it, and it's pretty difficult to take that into account. So with all of that variance, it's incredibly hard to come up with a combo that fits every single situation. And so if you just stick to these combos, you know exactly how much damage you're getting and how many stacks you're getting at the end of it. And following these combos means that you don't have to think very hard, just memorize them and just do them. So if I missed something, then leave a comment down below. And remember that these combos are for C0 Arataki Itto only. Itto's C1 is going to change a lot of these structures because your continuous slashes will last longer. And if I'm being honest here, I don't know if doing more charged slashes is actually the way to go to get more damage. Because if you're doing more charged slashes, that means you have less opportunity to throw your Ushi out for a second time. I don't have a C1, so there's no way that I can lap these out, but from my testing and experimentation on finding these combo routes, C1 could be detrimental, but of course, it also might not be. At the end of the day, if you can't get 2 Ushis though out, then I think you are going to be losing out on a little bit of damage. If anyone out there with a C1 Arataki Itto wants to lab out some combos in order to get 2 Ushis, then definitely give it a shot and share that out with the community. Anyway, I hope that this video helped you out, and if it did, don't forget to hit that like button and maybe even consider subscribing to my channel. I also have a Discord and Twitch. Links to that are down below. Until next time, guys, I will see you guys later.